We rented a cabin out in the middle of the woods. There was no cell service, the internet was terrible, and the deal was simple. Neither of us was allowed to leave that cabin until we both wrote 100 pages. Now, for the next 6 days, we woke up, wrote all morning, ate lunch, went for a walk, wrote all afternoon, took a break, ate dinner, and then wrote late into the night. Then the next day, we did it again, and then again, and again, and again. Now, when I tell people this story, they will often say things like,
"Wow, you guys were so disciplined."
To which I say, no, you stupid fuck. We were not so disciplined. If we were disciplined, we wouldn't have to drive 3 hours into the woods and rent a fucking cabin to get any work done. There was nothing disciplined about this. There was no willpower, no motivation, no grit, no determination, no resolve. Yet, we both got the best results that we had gotten all year. And the reason was simple. There was nothing else to do. And this is the biggest mistake that I see people make when they want to be disciplined and make a big change in their lives. They think it's about willpower or grit. They think they need a new protocol or a morning routine to like put creatine in their coffee or something. Fuck your creatine. Now, these days, whenever we can't focus, the first thing we all blame is our fucking phone. It's the phone's fault. It's social media. It's the algorithm, whatever. It's like your phone is a slot machine that can order burrito taxis and stalk your ex all in one device. So no wonder you can't pry it out of your fucking hands every night. But here's the thing. Blaming your phone for your inability to focus is like blaming your fork for making you fat. It's like blaming your TV for your football team losing. It's like blaming the ATM machine in Vegas when you wake up surrounded by empty tequila bottles and cheap hookers and don't have enough money to get home. The real reason you are not disciplined is not that you have too many distractions. It is that you have too many options and you refuse to close off any of them. Let's call this optionality addiction. And in my opinion, it is the defining pathology of our time. Now, modern culture has turned keeping your options open into a kind of virtue. The message that we've all absorbed from childhood is that the smart move is to always hedge, to diversify, to never fully commit to a single thing because, after all, what if something better comes along? And because we now live inside devices that are designed to always show us the better thing that could come along, it is reinforced into us to never commit, to never box ourselves in, to never, God forbid, be left behind. And this sounds like wisdom. It sounds very sophisticated, like something a very thoughtful person would say at a fancy dinner party or on a Twitter thread with 100,000 likes. The philosopher Kierkegaard wrote that there is a dizziness to freedom, an overwhelming, disorienting anxiety that we feel when faced with infinite possibilities of our own choices. He argued that the more possibilities you face, the more existential dread you will experience, because you're standing at the edge of an infinite number of lives that you could potentially live. And the sheer volume of possibility is absolutely overwhelming and confusing. It gives you vertigo. You lose track of yourself and what matters to you. And instead of dedicating your energy to the things you care about, you instead default to giving your energy to keeping as many options open as possible. And it turns out that while optionality sounds really good on paper, it is cognitively expensive. It is exhausting. Non-commitment, it turns out, is quite the commitment. It demands so much of you, and it also is in a way identity destroying. Because when you refuse to commit to anything, you never really become anyone. You remain this amorphous, shapeless blob of potential. And potential, as it turns out, is just a polite word for hasn't done a fucking thing. Like the guy who says that he's exploring 5 different career paths, has 3 side hustles going, and is dabbling in 2 business ideas, and is thinking about going back to school. From the outside, it sounds like ambition, but it's not. That dude is terrified of his own fucking shadow. Because if you never fully commit, then you never fully fail, and you always have an escape hatch. You can always tell yourself, well, I wasn't really trying. I got other opportunities waiting for me. It's like a psychological safety net that they've convinced themselves is a proper life strategy. Everyone these days says they have a focus problem. They don't. They have an optionality problem. And until you recognize that no productivity system, no morning routine, no app, no nothing is going to save you from yourself, nothing is going to happen. Because let's be honest, all of your goals and dreams are, well, it's fucking easy. It's easy to have a goal. The hard part's actually committing to them and pursuing them. Like if you want to wake up early, there's nothing hard about waking up early. Set up 10 alarm clocks on the other side of the room. Make it feel like a fucking escape room in your bedroom at 5 a.m. each morning. Want to get into shape? Go sign up for a year of personal training tomorrow and make sure there's no refunds. If you want to stop playing so many video games, sell your fucking PlayStation.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Oh no, did that scare you? Sorry. Was that too far?
Would you sell your
I did. I did sell my PlayStation. For like 10 years, I had no PlayStation. Fucking cowards. Because fear isn't the biggest barrier you're going to face. Fear is actually the easy part. The part that's really going to fuck you up is the grief. I spent most of my 20s as a fuckboy nightclub douchebag. I went out drinking almost every night. I traveled around the world, and not for like a cultural enrichment kind of way, more of like a getting drunk and passing out on beaches in Thailand kind of way. I went to some of the biggest parties in the world. I was often doing drugs, sleeping with random women in random places, and a lifestyle that looked from the outside like kind of this extended vacation with no return date. Then I met my wife. And now, my wife has had a profound impact on me in a lot of ways. For one, I'm no longer a lost fuckboy. But the act of marriage itself is actually what has been, I think, just as impactful as she has. Because the act of marriage is an act of giving yourself no choices. It's a mechanism to remove optionality from your life. And as a result, it made me a far more disciplined person without me even meaning to be. See, when I got engaged with her, something interesting happened. There had been this software running in my head my whole life that I didn't realize was there. And that software was, where's the hot girl? And is she into me? It was eating up so much of my mental RAM, constantly interrupting and slowing down all the other processes and distracting me from other things I should have been focused on. And getting engaged was like killing that software. It was like Control-Alt-Deleting and fucking shutting it off. It freed up so much mental and emotional energy that it allowed me to focus what I actually gave a shit about. But then there was something else that happened that was much weirder, and that was grief. See, when I dated my wife, I slowly lost nearly all interest in partying, most of my interest in going out, all interest in other women. It just kind of faded. It wasn't like a light switch. It was like a volume knob gradually being turned down on a song until you can't hear it anymore. And at first, I was really happy about this. I mean, obviously, it felt right. It felt like growing up. But there was also a piece of me, a quiet, private part of me that felt something akin to a kind of sadness. And not because I wasn't single anymore, I couldn't get drunk with the boys anymore. No, it was more of a quiet sadness at the loss of who I was. It wasn't grief in the sense that I wanted to go back to that life, or in the sense that anything bad was happening to me in my new life.